Welcome everybody to my channel. If you are new, my name is Teresa. Today's video, I'm going to show you some easy and inexpensive ways that we can make some really cute Easter and spring decor using some Dollar Tree items, some scrap wood, and some candles. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and as always, I hope y'all get lots of inspiration and ideas for things that you can make for your home. If you haven't joined my Facebook home decor page, I'd love for you to go over and join it, and also go over and follow me on Pinterest and Instagram. Okay, the first project we're going to work on is a scrap piece of wood. And if y'all have known me for very long, y'all know I love just to take a scrap, rustic pieces of wood and transform them and make decor out of them. So this is just a block of wood. And I've told y'all in the past, my friend Linda gave me a bunch of it where she used to work. So I always have a stash of scrap wood laying around. And I'm going to take some craft paint. I'm going to add some water to it, water it down, and I'm going to make a stain out of it. And I just go over the whole block. And I'm going to do something on both sides of it, a little different, so you can put it out for Easter and spring, or you can flip it around and have something on the other side also. And I'm using the candle wax method to distress it. You just rub the candle wax all over it. You put your chalk paint or your paint on top of that. And then right before it gets completely dry and cured, you want to take a little plastic scraper and distress it. And you can see how well it distresses. And also I use white linen chalk paint on this. Now the first side I got this stencil set with vintage keys from Amazon. They are linked in my store, which is in my description box. And I just stenciled a key on it. And I thought this would be so neat. You could use this for a bookend. You just set it around. It's just something a little bit different. And I got Ben to go out and drill a little hole in the top and put a hook eye in it. And I painted it with some brown craft paint. Now I'm taking some more graphics that I purchased off of a little Etsy shop, and I'll link all my graphics that I use in my video today down below. But I love going out to Etsy and shopping all the cute little graphics and downloads that they have. So I'm going to take this rabbit, and I'm going to show you in just a minute a little technique I use where you just kind of tatter around the edges. If you ever have a graphic that's a little bit bigger than whatever you want to put it on, if you just go around with some water around the edges and kind of tatter and tear it, versus just cutting away at it, I think it gives it such a pretty border, and and it gets it down to the size of what you want to put it on. And I just Mod Podged it on. Now I'm just taking some lace and some ribbons that I cut in strips, and I'm just going to tie it through that hook eye. And I also want to add that I stained the edges of my graphic with some coffee. So the second project, I did another projects in another video, I'll link it below, of where I took some trashed vegetable cans, and I took some little cans that I had on hand, and that little flower market one, you can get that at Dollar Tree, and they also sell it at Dollar General. But I took them outside one day when the weather was nice, and I just spray painted them all white. The vegetable cans I used in a previous project, and this one now I'm going to use today. And I love lavender, y'all. It is so springy to me. So we're going to take that lavender graphic, and that's also an Etsy purchase, and I love it. And the lady that I purchased it from, you get a couple of ways of how you can download it, and you'll see in just a minute how I'm going to use a larger version of this on some books. So here's the tattered method that I'm using. I just get a little bowl of water. You can also do this over at your kitchen sink, with the water running, and just kind of dab that water on your fingers and just gently tear away at the edges around your graphic. And you just want to get it down to the size that you need it. And then I'm going to take some coffee grounds left over, from the morning, and I just go around, and that is what's going to give it that distress and that worn vintage look. And I'm also going to add a little bit to the graphic itself, just to kind of knock off some of the white, because this background on this one was white, so I kind of wanted to add a little bit more of that aged look to it. So you just very gently, get those coffee grounds on your fingers, and and just kind of work it in the places that you think it needs to be distressed. And this method to me is so much fun to do, and it's so easy, and it don't cost us anything because we're using something that we probably would have put in the trash. You can see how pretty that turned out. And then just using some Mod Podge, I'm just going to brush it on real good on the back of my graphic, and then I'm just going to apply it to my bucket. And this makes such a cute little centerpiece, to set out for Easter and spring. And at the end, I'm going to style everything at the end of this video, so I hope you'll stick around to see how I stage everything. Now let's go to project number 3. Now we're going to make some books, and I've made books before. I've got a couple of videos on some books I did, and I love making books. So these are Dollar Tree books, and I got books that were all the same, and that way all my books will be the same size. You can vary the sizes of your books if you want to, and you can also do paperback if you want to. These are hardbound, but I'm just going to go in, I'm going to chalk paint them, and you really just have to chalk paint the top of your top book and then just the binders, and anything that shows is what you'll need to paint, so you don't have to fully paint all the books. This is that graphic in the larger size that I'm going to use, and it's already distressed and looks good, so I'm going to leave it like it is. Taking some hot glue now, I'm just going to bind my books together really good. I'm just going to stack 4 on top of each other, putting some glue in between each one. If you like this video so far, I hope you'll hit that like button. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I'd love for you to. Now, after we get the books all glued together, now you can stack them flat or you can stand them up. That's your personal preference. I've never done a graphic on one with them stacked like this, so that's what I want to try today. Now, I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on the back of my graphic, and I'm going to apply them to the books, and then I'm going to you'll see me how I kind of work it onto the books, and I always use the tip of a little paintbrush to work it into the creases because I like my graphic to break in between each book and show those little cracks. And then I'll go over the whole thing with a good application of Mod Podge and seal it really good. Now I'm just working it into those little binder creases with my finger. Now I'm going to take a little paintbrush and very gently, you just want to rub until your paper will break inside those cracks of your books. Now I'm just going to take a paintbrush with a lot of Mod Podge on it, and you just want to brush that in. That way that'll seal those edges down in between those cracks of your books. I went over the top, and then I'm going to show you a really cute little lavender swag that we can make to go on the top of it. These are little floral picks that I purchased at Walmart. I've got 2 of them, and I'm going to get some clippers, and I'm going to clip the stems down a little bit so they won't be so long. Now once I have them both clipped, now I'm just going to make a swag out of them. I'm going to tie them in the center with some twine to secure them together really good. And then I'm going to show you how you can make a really cute little looped easy bow to put on it that's going to make it look real springy and rustic looking. And this is some Dollar Tree ribbon, and I get a lot of times people comment asking how I make my bows, and I have made some videos on bow making, but I just basically do a very easy looped bow, and I usually do 3 loops on each side. To me, that gives such a, more of a full looking bow. And then you just want to cinch it in the center with another piece of ribbon, and you can vary your ribbons here if you want to tie it in the center with something else. The variations of your textures and colors always go well together on the bows, but I'm just going to take the same ribbon, and you want to cinch it real tight in the center, and that's what gives it that, little fluff and makes it all come together. And then that's the bottom bow is a bow that I previously made on another project, and that's that stained flower sackcloth, and it makes great bows. And I just embellished it with a button on the top, and now I'm going to put it on my lavender. And like I said, I'll show you at the end how I stage everything. But I think these books turned out so pretty as a spring piece for my home. Now we're going to move on to project number 4, and we're going to work on this little chicken. Now I know y'all have seen all these little wooden bunnies that everybody's recreating from the Dollar Tree. Well, I got the little chicken, and I love him. I thought he was so cute. So to me, little baby chicks, I don't know, they scream yellow to me because our little Tractor Supply in town always gets little baby chicks in the springtime. As soon as you walk in the store, you can hear them chirping back in the back. And they're all yellow and fluffy and cute. So I wanted to do mine yellow. So I just took some craft paint from Walmart in a really pretty yellow, and they also have a Waverly chalk paint that's a real pretty yellow too you could use. And I just went over it the same. I did antique wax on this to stain it from my bottom stain, and then I just went over it with the candle wax again. I distressed it with my plastic scraper, and just to knock a little bit of shine off of it from that candle wax, I went over it with my sanding block. And see how cute he turned out? And my mother gave me a bunch of little buttons that she has collected and saved over the years. And then some of those are also from Dollar Tree. And I just put them all together in my jar. So now, when I need buttons for my projects, I've got them all together. So I picked him out a cute little button for his eye. And then I'm going to make him a little bow. And this is some really cute ribbon that I recently purchased at Walmart in the craft section. And I love this. It's got wired edges to it, but it works really well on, little farmhouse projects. So I'm just taking 4 strips, 2 of the buffalo print and 2 of the white, and I just crisscross them in a cross, and we're going to make, just a little crisscross bow, and then I'm going to add some yellow raffia to the top of it just to bring out the yellow in my little baby chick. And I'm going to tie it in the center with some twine, and you'll want to tie it in a knot and just cinch it up really good. And then I'm going to go back and just trim up my raffia and just kind of fluff it up, and I think this makes great addition to the little baby chick. Now, the 5th project, and this is the last one. So now we're going to work on some candles. And I'm going to show y'all how an easy way we can bump up some candles that you may have. And these are some graphics. You've seen these. If you've watched any of my previous videos, I've used these before. Those are also an Etsy purchase, but just take whatever candles you have, and this would make a great gift idea. This one is from Dollar General at Christmas time, and the first one you saw was one of those really inexpensive Walmart candles, and that scent that I got in the Walmart candles smelled so good. But this is how I got this label off. The Walmart label peels right off. This one I just dampened it with some water, and then I just took some really rough sandpaper, and if you'll just kind of keep dampening it and rubbing that sandpaper over it, it'll take that label right off. So once you get your label removed, now we're going to use the same method. We're going to cut out those graphics we want to use, and we're going to tat them around the edges, and we're going to distress them with the coffee grounds, and we're going to apply them under our candles with the Mod Podge. And like I say, these little candles, this just bumps your candle up just another level, and you can take that Christmas looking label off, and you've got a really pretty piece that you can set out for Easter. And like I say, I think these would be great if you want to give these to people for gifts. I think it would make a great gift too. And I'm going to show you different ways that we can kind of add a little bit more touch to them and add some embellishments to them too. And just to make them, give them a little bit more detail. And this is the Walmart one. This is the one that smells so good. And I think the flavor of it was like sage and lavender or something. I'll make sure to put it up on the screen for you. But see what a cute little addition that made. So now I'm just going to let y'all sit back, listen to some relaxing music, and I'm going to let y'all see all the ways that you can style and stage these pieces that we just made.
You don't get out what you're putting in. All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding
A couple more things about the Walmart candle. I want you to notice that it comes with a metal black lid. You can also spray paint your lid. I spray painted it white, so you'll see it in a minute, but just another option for that candle just to give it a little bit more detail. And also the flavor of it is cashmere vanilla, but if you want a really good smelling candle, I highly recommend this one.
I give it all to you for too There must be another way, there must be conscious, different things in different ways. There must be more to the reason why we do it all for love. There must be more for a reason, and a little bit of faith has got to come my way.
I hope y'all got lots of ideas from the video today, and I hope y'all will make some of these. And if you do, make sure to tag me on Instagram, and also go over and post them on my home decor page. And I have a channel that I'm going to leave a link down in my description box. Go over and visit Donna at Delightfully Southern. She did my faux rust technique on some thrifted items that she did, and it turned out really well. And she does a lot of thrift hauls, and she's got a lot of good cooking videos where she cooks and shares her recipes. So y'all make sure to go out and check out Donna's channel. I'll leave the link below. As always, y'all, I really appreciate y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a great rest of the week, and I will see y'all in my next video.